Hello, this is going to be a different style of video where I'll be breaking down every single power in the story now that the first one has had its proper fight. If you're new around here, I'm the author of an original story named Lawbringer, which is a dark supernatural thriller. If you want, you can check it out on my channel in an audiobook style, and don't worry, I don't use any text-to-speech or any garbage AI voice, it's all narrated by me. But also, if you enjoy reading, you can check out the story itself on Wattpad, which is where I'm starting out. Both links to part 1 on my channel, as well as the story itself, will be in the description. But enough of that, let's get into it. Paper Ghosts, a power belonging to William Watson. Paper Ghost is a power that is heavily reliant on your surroundings in order to inflict meaningful damage, allowing you to use the environment itself as an arsenal of weapons and traps against the enemy, while also providing mobility with a snap of a finger, as well as a means to cheat death itself. Paper Ghost provides you with 5 gas-like lilac orbs where you can store events inside of. You can conjure them in front of you at any time in order to switch between any of the desired events before use. An event is any change in any solid object or living being's location, no matter how small it may be, whether accidental or not. Basically, if anything moves, it's fair game. Things such as a knife falling from the kitchen counter, a candle being moved 2 inches aside by someone, a car on the move, and a person walking all qualify as events. Events can then be stored inside of an empty orb, albeit it is not necessary to conjure them in order to do so, by reaching your hand towards it, causing a lilac-colored aura to envelop around the object or person, signaling you that it was successful. The range at which events can be stored is limited at 30 meters, or 32 yards. Once stored, events can be replayed at any desired location, also prompted by a simple reach of a hand, with the event selected, of course. Upon being replayed, an exact copy of the object or person will then appear at the location, redoing the action that was captured with perfect accuracy before disappearing 1 minute later, or earlier, should you choose to. After being used, an event vanishes from an orb, so it cannot be spammed repeatedly, forcing you to always be on the lookout for more useful events to capture. Only 5 events can be stored at a time, indefinitely. You can hold on to them for as long as you need to. Additionally, you can swap locations with an already active event. This is where the power's mobility comes from. By looking at an active event, you can snap your fingers at it, causing your locations to switch. The swap is instantaneous, the perfect getaway from any harm that should come your way, even if it comes at the expense of having to waste an event far away in order to do so. Finally, Paper Ghost is also able to cheat death itself. You see, it is also possible to store yourself as an event in an orb, with a secondary activation. This event can then be used to undo all damage done to you, if you stored an uninjured version of yourself, that is. If you end up dying with this event selected, all you need to do is to make sure your hand is on the verge of completing a snapping motion. It barely qualifies as a snap, though. All that's needed is for the middle finger to brush itself off your thumb, even if extremely slow, causing the event to activate, bringing you back from the dead. This is how William was able to survive his encounter with Isaac. Large and complex structures and anything bigger than that cannot be stored and used as events. You can't just store a house crumbling down and replay it on top of someone, even if that would be pretty funny. Anything smaller than that is fair game, like cars and road rollers. As previously mentioned, an event vanishes after the maximum of 1 full minute, so no funny infinite money glitch or anything else you'd want to duplicate. However, it is possible to replay a dollar bill floating down and then use it as payment for anything. You just have to be lucky that the money will already be away from the person's sight before the 1 minute timer is up. You cannot store liquids or gases as events. It is restricted only to solids. This isn't a power that's able to carry you through fights by itself. You need an intelligent and creative mind that's able to strategize and make quick decisions under pressure, always knowing what events to use next while also having multiple aces up your sleeve. Try to use the location swapping aggressively. It can even be done through walls and terrain, so always being out of the enemy's line of sight is much preferable for a power that has no direct combat capabilities, than doing your thing like setting up traps and trying to harm them from afar. Always have an uninjured version of yourself stored as an event. It will save your life, and you can do it as many times as you want. This doesn't mean you're immortal, however. A full wipeout of your body will render you unable to come back. Even as much as your arms being amputated will also prevent you from using your power completely, so protect them with your life. One of the easiest to use and effective kinds of events is simply throwing a knife at a wall and saving it as an event. You can then replay it from any direction. Also, active events cannot be restored again. Wait, is that a word? No, I don't think it is. Whatever. But yeah, I think you get it. Anyway, this is the first and likely one of the hardest to use powers in the story. Just letting you know. Whenever you take out another host with it, be sure to type easy dift in the chat, cause it's well and deserved. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed this. Leave a like and subscribe, all that YouTuber stuff. Look forward for the next parts, and goodbye.